Good evening. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to the Bobby Moore Stand. Another fun-filled show ahead of us as we celebrate another great night that was supporting West Ham last night, wasn't it? Evening, Chris. Oh, no.
That's Chris.
He left. Martin, how you doing?
I'm still here. I'm not giving up on us yet. It's a wonderful time to be a West Ham supporter, isn't it? Especially making content.
It's a dream. It's a dream, Martin. It really is. I mean, God, there can't be. We just need some nice times to talk about. Have some really, wouldn't it be nice? Would it be nice to talk about nice things? I'd love that.
They got to be coming one day, and we appreciate them more for going through all this.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I've got about 1 million WhatsApp groups going at the moment, and honestly, they're all depressing. Every one of them's depressing, especially about West Ham. And going on about this thing of everyone's got an opinion on West Ham, and I mean they haven't at the moment, and it varies from personal attacks on people to give Potter another chance. You know what I mean? We're all somewhere along that line. Chris, I said hello and you disappeared. How you doing?
Yeah, no, sorry, mate. I just thought I'd make a fashionably late entrance. So, I had some internet issues again, as usual. I'm all right. Though. Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. You're all over the other night. You're feeling better?
No. Of course I'm not. No, I'm still not happy. Yeah, what more do you want me to say? 23 games in under Potter's regime. I've had enough. Simple as that.
Yeah, me too. So let's talk about very briefly, because we haven't looked back on it. Firstly, the Chelsea game that happened the other day. That was just a debacle, wasn't it? That was just one of the worst nights at that Potsy Stadium that we've had so far, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sick of going there and seeing us trounced 5-6-1 or whatever. Why does that keep happening?
I'll tell you what. I read out a stat before that. It was either before or after that Chelsea game I think it was after. That we conceded 5 goals only once between 2000 and 2016. So in 16 years, we conceded 5 goals at home once against Man United. When we lost 5-3, it was a decent game. We've done it 8 or 9 times in this stadium already.
Which just shows you we've lost all home advantage, haven't we, from moving stadium?
Totally. There is it's like they're so far removed from the fans, both when they go to the ground, approaching the ground, pulling up by coach in secret at the back, coming out and training. The fans are bloody miles away. There is no level of intimidation at all. No home advantage whatsoever. What do you think, Chris?
Oh yeah, I mean it's more advantageous for the opposition than it is for us right now. Particularly with regards to the atmosphere. Although that being said, of course, it was pretty good at the beginning of the Chelsea game for obvious reasons.
Excellent. Thanks to Ironworks. What was it?
Ironworks Alliance, absolutely brilliant work they're doing. But
Very
it's
good.
hard. It's so hard in this current climate to get atmosphere going. But
you can't sustain it, Martin. That's the problem, because if you're being put up to watch this turgid crap every game, you can start singing before the game, but we're all human beings, and no matter how much we want to sing and get behind the team, if the team aren't turning up and they're playing as badly as they have been playing, it's very, very hard to just keep singing and keep singing and keep singing. Which is a shame, because I think, after Paqueta scored that first goal, the atmosphere was great. And I must say, for the first 10, 15 minutes, I was having a fantastic time. Honestly, it just felt, I fell over on my seat. There was people jumping on top of me because I'm sat in a new, place in the Bobby Moore Stand now.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. But then after that, obviously, when we totally capitulated, dead. But then you could see half the stadium was empty, wasn't it? So
I think 4th and 5th goals finished the crowd off. A lot of them left. It was unbelievable, really.
How long did you stay till? I don't even know, because we already spoken probably about this.
Left with about 25 minutes to go. It was obvious that Chelsea were on the beach. They were just knocking it around. We were never going to score if we were there all night. So what was the point in staying? So I thought we'd go.
What about you, Martin?
I actually stayed right to the end because I just wanted to see what happened at the end. I wanted to see the reaction.
What happened?
A few players did come over to us and that, but they didn't come that near. It was like a half-hearted clap.
I hate that.
But
yeah,
I mean, that's what annoys me. It's like this club's supposed to embody like East End spirit. Like when we're down, we fight for everything. Yeah. It's not representing that at all, is it? The first sign of any sort of defeat, and they crumble, and they're all looking at each other like, this isn't working. We didn't get a yellow card against Chelsea.
No,
we lost 5-1 at home in a London derby, and we didn't get a yellow card.
It's disgraceful. But the thing is, the sad thing about my new seats, apart from being surrounded by tourists, is I've got a really good view, and I can see the expression on people's faces. I can see if they're pulling for it, if they're trying. Because all I saw on that pitch was people looking at each other and blaming each other. That was it. There's no fight.
What's Potter like when you're close to him?
He's almost dead. He hardly moves. That's what I mean. He hardly moves. There's no expression in the guy's face. He's about probably, 15 yards away from me, because I'm on the side with the opposition manager, who's very close. Right. So it's great. I mean, they're great seats, but it's going to be a shit season to have great seats, isn't it? You know what I mean?
You've still got the other ones, haven't you?
Well, I did say jokingly last year that I'll have a great view of the relegation, and there you go. And look, true to form, I still came and mixed with you guys outside at half time, didn't I? And I didn't have a problem with that at all. It's like I went on Sky Sports the other day. I'll still come on this show with you, right? I'll still do it.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, he had to say it, didn't he? He had to say it. I had to say it. He's like the next character. The next paragraph. You know what I mean? Sort of kudos, not kudos
to me.
Kudos to you, mate. No, you did a really good job, to be fair, and I thought you articulated yourself very well. Said exactly what you wanted to say, and I know there's a lot of people out there that say that Sky Sports try and get people to kind of go along with their own narrative, which is a load of bollocks, because I know they don't. I know you haven't. You've gone exactly true to word. You said exactly what you thought, which I think is really, really important, right? And you came across really well, mate. So fair play. Well done.
Appreciate that. To be fair, it's up to you to drive the conversation, because obviously they're told to ask these pointy questions that are supposed to wind you up, but I was in kind of pro mode anyway. I was never getting wound up by anything. Could have had Jim White on there, and I would have been calm as anything. It wouldn't matter.
No, you wouldn't. Come on, if Jim White was on there, there's no calm at all. Come on, mate. Let's be honest.
To be honest, I was listening to Jim White and Simon Jordan today, bringing up the same old shit about how we chased Moyes out and how we deserve what we get. And honestly, I came close to smashing Alexa up again today. I did. So I can't swear that I'd be calm in the face of Simon Jordan or Jim White, but I'd give it a try. Because I know once you get emotional and shit, you've lost. Right.
It's hard not to be emotional right now. It's hard not to be emotional at this moment in time, but I think
I know, but clinical works better. Clinical fact-based works better than just losing your rag. It really does.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because you're a lot more thoughtful in your responses to their questions, right? But
yeah,
I mean, I don't know, mate. It's just a really, really difficult time to be a West Ham fan right now. It really is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of downs, certainly more downs than ups, but I think at the moment, this is probably the worst I've felt in a long, long time as a West Ham fan. We've been in worse situations before. We've been in lower leagues, this idea. Of course we have. But I just think everything, amalgamated into one in terms of the atmosphere, the ownership, the players, the lack of performance, all of these things combined is just making this a really, really hard time to be a West Ham fan. It is. And it's not enjoyable. And that's the hardest thing. And I know that, you and I spoke about this, certainly even before Martin kind of, joined us on there about being positive. And a few people have been bringing this, where's the positivity gone? Well, look, we're only human beings, right? We wanted to go into the season being positive, but we didn't necessarily expect. Yeah, and we didn't necessarily expect that we would be getting spanked like we are. I mean, I didn't expect that we get a great deal of points, I'll be honest. All I expected was performance. Yes. But there's been not one performance that we can speak about so far this season. 3 games in, 11 goals conceded. It's been an absolute shit show so far. I'm worried it's going to get worse.
Is this the worst we've started? I know statistically, goals-wise, it's the worst, but I can't remember us ever being this bad at the beginning of the season.
It must be, because the first game was the worst opening day result ever for us, right? I don't know whether it was just an away day, because I think we got trounced by Man City at home once, didn't we? Well, we always get trounced. I know it weren't on the opening day, because we were always away on the opening day, weren't we? Mm. So yeah. Listen, I think it's shocking what's happening, and as I said on that show, I'll stand by it now. I am Potter out now. I didn't really want to go that way, but I don't see any choice because the guy's not helping himself. Do I trust Sullivan to get another decent manager in? Of course I fucking don't, right? Of course I don't. But at the same time, you've got to do something. And I'm going to come on to this after. I just don't know if this is all orchestrated. I've got to be honest. I mean, Potter, I think he's a victim. I think he's a victim who trusted someone that he was going to get the funding to build his system and play his style. He's got nothing of the sort. So there literally is no point in him being there because what he's trying to do now is put his system out there with the wrong players who can't play in that bloody system. And he's ensuring that we get soundly thumped every bloody time. It's ridiculous what he's doing. I mean, playing Guido Rodriguez when he's almost out of the club. What if he gets a knock and you have to call the deal off?
Yeah. I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking exactly the same thing. And I think, I know that, you've said it on a few occasions, and I would also agree with you in the sense that he hasn't been necessarily backed by the board. But regardless of whether he's been backed by the board or not, can you honestly tell me that he should not be doing better than what he is at the moment? With
no, I can't. Of course he should.
Well, this is what I'm saying. 11 goals conceded in 3 games, right? You talk about firstly, we played Sunderland, a newly promoted team. We've lost to them. A team that, by all accounts, is still trying to find its feet, okay? We've then conceded 5 goals against Chelsea. It looked absolutely diabolical. And then
one change after losing 3-0 at Sunderland. One change at home to Chelsea.
Yeah, and then we're going to concede 3 goals against the Wolves B team, right? So, for me, there's not a single manager, for my liking, in the Premier League that would have done worse than what Graham Potter has done so far with that squad of players. So I agree that he hasn't been backed by the board as much as we need.
He hasn't helped himself.
He hasn't helped himself because the decision making, Gal, is just altogether baffling for me because we all know that we lack legs in midfield. So surely the option there is to potentially play Potts, particularly in a League Cup game, right? But we don't do that. And, we're seeing on countless occasions sticking and persisting with this back 3 or stroke 2 wing backs, back 5, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't work with this squad of players. It's not fit for purpose. It really isn't.
Fucking deer in the headlights at the moment. That is what I'm worried about, is a deer in the headlights because 3 games running, he's played the same bloody system. 3 games running, we've fallen to pieces after conceding. What is he looking at? Why did he, for instance, bring Kilman on last night? Why did that happen? It's
just even forget about what he did later on in the game. It's also how he started the game because again he's persisting with 3 of the slowest midfield players in the Premier League, right? But
Rodriguez cost us the game.
Yeah, but he didn't need to do that. Is my point, right? It's a League Cup game. Okay, so look, I wanted us to win yesterday. Of course I did. I'm a West Ham fan. I want us to see us progress into a League Cup competition because you never know. It could mean European football. It's the easiest route into European football. Not that I'm expecting it, of course, right? But I kind of felt yesterday was a prime opportunity to say, do you know what, give Potts a go. Give him a go and stick him in there, right? But no, he still sticks with the 3 slowest midfield players that you can possibly think of, right? That for me is just, it's absolutely clueless. It just goes to show for me that he's a completely inept manager that does not have a clue, Gal. He doesn't. And I really hate saying this because I've been a defender of Potter for a while. I'm like, give him time, give him time, give him time.
Just wanted to be fair, right? Just wanted to be fair.
But the geezer ain't helping himself now, Gal. The geezer is not helping himself.
We've been fair, and clearly, I don't know about you, mine, but I think he underestimated the size of this job.
Yeah, I think 100% he has. He did. I think he thought this like little West Ham. He didn't realise what he was walking into. It's a big club. This is. I mean, people will laugh at that, but it is a big club.
It is.
The fan base is massive.
Almost every senior journalist on national newspapers support West Ham. You know that.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. What pressure that is in its by itself, right? I noticed this pink light is turning my head pink.
Okay, you can say that he didn't realise how big the job was, but there's simple things that aren't being shown on the pitch right now, regardless of whether the job was too big or whatever it was, right? Because for me, the fundamental things that I'm not seeing week in, week out, certainly for the first 3 games are, we lack fight in that team. We lack spirit.
There's none. There's none. I can tell you, there's none.
All we've been seeing, right, pre-season is all this fucking, happy camp, pre-season, everyone loving it, full crew dancing around, having a great time. What a great, fantastic spirit there. Well, I can tell you something, that's not translating onto the pitch right now. It's not. They ain't fighting for each other. And to me, at the moment, they look like a bunch of players that have never played with each other before. Okay,
Can I give you a prime example, right? And that is full crew kept getting beaten around the head by Chelsea, right? Over and over again. Must have happened 4 times. He got some sort of little elbow in the face. Not once did another player come over and try to dig out the Chelsea players. Not once.
No. No, there's no spirit there at all. No team spirit, no fight.
No. There's no fighters.
It looks like a load of people
leaders.
who don't really. They're not. What's the word? They're not understanding or believing in what he's trying to achieve. They're going with it for the first sort of 10 minutes, and any sign of it falling apart, that's it.
Oh, completely. And let me just say here, this is not the Graham Potter that was at Brighton. So the Brighton fans who say, "Oh, amazing situation." He said he was an attacking manager, entertaining manager of football. Well, firstly, he weren't. He played a brand of football that he's trying to do here, which ain't attacking. It's all around creating one or two opportunities in 90 minutes. That's what it is, really. But and stopping and keeping possession and stopping the other side from scoring. That's really what it's all about. But what he was supposed to be known for was trying people in different positions, being a bit innovative, trying different formations to support the opposition. What he was not known for was putting in a fucking one system and trying to retrofit every ill-fitted player we've got into that system, including the two slowest midfielders in the whole league. Over and over again.
I look at Freddie Potts and I think he looks like he's going to be a good player. You never know what's going to happen.
Takes a while, doesn't it? Takes a while.
But it looks to me, as I've seen enough football in my life, it looks like he's going to be a good player.
Yes.
The player stopping him getting into this team is Rodriguez.
Yeah.
A player we're trying to sell is too slow for the Premier League.
It's pathetic. And I'll tell you what, another thing as well, right? Warming up to come on the pitch last night wasn't Freddie Potts. It's fucking Andy Irving. And nothing against Andy Irving, but why? Why is Freddie Potts down the pecking order?
Another player that potentially could be on his way.
Yeah.
Why are we persisting with these players? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, someone said to me today that maybe they're trying to put them in the shop window. But I would not be doing that because if anyone sees how they play, we're not getting rid of them.
They're going. I mean, he's already been bagged up, Guido, because Pellegrini said, come back to Betis. He's going back to Betis, right? So I'll drive him to the airport if you want. Andy Irving's going to God knows where, Rangers or so. He's going to one of them, right? So don't get him injured, for God's sake. But so this is where it comes back to me. What I'm thinking is he comes out, Potter, and says, oh, yeah, wonderful business in transfer window. You don't mean a word of that, mate, right? Because what you're doing is openly showing, this is my view, Sullivan, what little you've got in the middle of the pitch. That is why you're playing those players. So he's being disingenuous as well. They all are, right? They all are. He's gaslighting us by saying that in the same way that Brady gaslighted us a few weeks ago.
Oh, Brady. I mean, do you know what made me laugh about Brady is how she said in that interview, Graham Potter's a forward-thinking manager. A forward-thinking manager. We don't need a forward-thinking manager right now. We need a manager that can get results right now. I mean, seriously, a forward-thinking manager. He's not. He's not forward-thinking. Someone that persists, like I said again, with three of the slowest midfielders in the team. We have no athleticism whatsoever in the middle of the park. In the engine room of our team, we have nothing. But he persists with the same, slow midfielders week in, week out. You've got to be some kind of idiot. Like you genuinely got to be some kind of idiot to do that because any fan can see this right now, Gav. Any fan can look at that team, look at each of one of those performances in isolation and say, do you know what? West Ham are really slow in the middle of the park. But what does he do? He plays the slow midfielders again in the next game and the next game. And it worries me about what he's going to do against Forest, because it would not surprise me at all if he sticks with the same stupid formation with the same players in the middle of the park. And if he does that, we're going to get our asses handed to us again, Gal, because I don't think the guy learns.
If he does that, he's got to get the bullet after the game, right? He
has to. Because enough is enough, right? I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up, Gal. This is almost like schoolboy errors.
If he does the same again, seriously, if he does the same again and starts out with a fucking 3 at the back against Forest, well, firstly, I'm going to have to smash my telly up, right? But that is just, you're going as well, aren't you, Chris?
Oh, he'll see me on the pitch probably.
I got you some tickets. Lucky you.
Yeah, I can take them back. But no, honestly, it's just I don't know.
We're describing a professional, high-level sports coach, manager, whatever.
Yes.
How does he not see this? Why is he? What would be the reason he persists with this?
There is no reason.
It's not just the midfield, though, right? It's not just the midfield. We have no focal point up front, right? As I say, we constantly let teams come at us every single game. Yeah. Every single game. We saw it against Sunderland, particularly in the second half. We just sat back, let them come at us. We saw it against Chelsea for predominantly around about 90% of that game. We saw it in the second half last night against Wolves. We do it all the time. Our defence is completely in disarray. It's woeful. It's absolutely woeful. There's no organisation there. There's no one leading. There's no one commanding the troops in any single area of the pitch.
No.
This is not just about the midfield. It's across the entire team. It is.
No,
so
it is.
I think the midfield is absolutely crucial. It's pivotal. It is.
Do you know,
but
it's similar
everywhere.
to. It's similar to Amarin at Man United. He's come from Sporting Lisbon, and he could play that system because they win every match. They can be aggressive. To play that system, you've got to have wing backs bombing on, and you're never really attacked, are you? And he's found when he comes to Man United, it didn't work. But he persisted with it.
You know what's interesting?
Trying it with
Martin. Sorry to interject there, mate. But what is very interesting about your comment there about playing this system is, if you look at Crystal Palace, they play this system. They play 3 at the back. They play the 2 wing backs, and they're incredibly effective at doing that. Very good at doing that. Now there is the exactly, because they have the right players and they have the right type of manager that realizes you can't fit square pegs in round holes, right? No. But that's what Potter tries to do.
Plus, that is his system, and that is also the system that Palace have decided to play. That is the club system. So they buy players to fit that system. He's coming to operate that system. We've just fucking gone from Moyes, one system, Loppy, another system, him, another system. Yeah, almost Palace, the same players, right?
Palace set up with the youth team playing the same formation all the way through. Brighton do.
As it should be, right?
We never do that. The manager at the top of the tree changes every other season, and the players change. There's just no philosophy at the football club at all, is it? It's like a scattergun approach.
And he's lost his bottle when it comes to playing kids, right? He's lost his bottle completely. He's gone back to the Moyes style of, proven senior players first.
Yeah.
Right? Do you need to be a football genius, Scout, to realise that playing a flat back 4 is probably the best thing that we could do right now, rather than sticking with what we're doing?
He's got options. I read out a team earlier. He's got options to do on Sunday. He does not have to stick to his fucking team, right? And I quite like this. This is the one that Jim sent it to me, right? Which was take KWP, AWP, left and right back, put Mavropanos and Kilman in the middle. Kilman goes on the left of the 2, Mavropanos on the right of the 2, where they used to. And then you have 3 up front in Paqueta, Bowen, and Fulkrug. Very attacking lineup. Keep Paqueta away from giving the ball away in needless areas. Then move Diouf and Potts and one other, whoever that is, into the middle. So a 4-3-3 away to Forest. You can do it. You can do something like that. But I guarantee you fucking don't.
I mean, he wouldn't do something like that. I mean, whether it'd work or not is open to debate because... I mean, Diouf playing as a central midfielder. I mean, God knows, can he do it? No idea. But I get the. I'm
sure he can.
Well, I get the idea in the sense that he's got athleticism. You know, he's got pace. You know, he's got strength. So maybe
it'd be left of the 3, right? It'd be left of the 3, wouldn't he? Because you'd have Potts in the middle, and then you'd have someone on the right, whoever that is. It could be Lewis Alford or someone.
But then you're trying out a brand new system with 2 players. Well, with Potsy that's not played really, and then another player that's never played in that position before.
But it's either that or do the same fucking thing again with the same players and get stuffed and lose your job.
So I get it. I mean, I do think probably Diouf is probably. I think he could play in more forward positions, in truth, rather than just necessarily playing as a wing back. I think we could play him as an out-and-out winger. I think he's got that in his locker.
Yeah, I think he could. I think he could. I think he's a great player, and I love his commitment, Diouf. He's a proper professional, unlike most of the people on that pitch.
Yeah. No, agreed. But you know, you look at. I look at Palace actually because it frustrates me to even say this, but you know, they're a team that should. I'm sorry, and this is not me being arrogant or anything, but they are nowhere near as a bigger team as West Ham. But they are a better team than West Ham. That's a fact.
Way
and you know, you look at what they're doing in the transfer.
West Ham.
Yeah. Gary, you look at what they're doing in the transfer market at the moment, right? So they're being linked with Akanji from Man City, centre back. Guess what? We need a centre back, right? He's a good player. I know he's had injury records and stuff like that, but I think he's getting back to fitness now. Again, we should be looking at a centre back, right? They're also looking at getting Conor Gallagher back in on loan. That's a player that we could absolutely do with at West Ham. These players that Palace are being linked with, highly unlikely would want to join West Ham right now. That is how low down the scale we are for a lot of players that we're looking at in the market, and it's a fact because we've lost so many of them. If indeed we ever did go for them in the first place, and it was just noise.
But apparently, there's a rumor on Twitter tonight that I don't know anything about. Good evening, Claire, by the way, in the chat. That somebody behind the scenes in West Ham is trying to undermine our deals.
Yeah,
is that the latest excuse rolled out by David Sullivan to get us to the end of the window without signing anyone? Is that because apparently this Soungoutou Magassa, who had his medical today, apparently a German club, I think it's Dortmund, are trying to come in for him at the last minute.
Yeah, it's Eintracht Frankfurt.
Eintracht Frankfurt, right? Okay. So how the fucking hell does stuff like that even happen? So it's like, what is that? Another we tried? A really extreme case of we tried. He's actually had a medical.
Realistically, if you look between the lines here, it's probably more down to the fact that he's passed his medical, but Eintracht Frankfurt are offering the player more money, so he's going to join them instead, and we're just being tight asses. That's how I would read that situation. I don't think people are necessarily going to be speaking negatively about the club. I don't. Well, not in that way. Let's put it that way. I can't see that. And also, I don't necessarily.
But if it's someone in the club trying to undermine deals.
I heard it was an ex-player. rather than the current player. But you know what? It's all rumours.
Yeah, I heard that as well. I won't say it because it's not fair, right? But anyway, look. Anything else to say on that game last night, Martin? Apart from the Bowen spat, what do you think?
Well, the Bowen spat is what I was going to bring up because, as worrying as that is, I mean, I thought he was going to chuck the armband on the floor at one point. I think that was probably going through his head. Yeah. But when I thought about it, I was actually pleased to see a little bit of upset and fight. It's the first time I see it in the game. Like, I want to see him arguing, and
yes,
it's just something's not right about the whole thing. It's too nice. I know we've got this great spirit, but something's not right about it.
We haven't anymore, clearly.
And what's happened to Fulcrum? Because he come off at half time against Chelsea, didn't he?
Can I just say, there's someone here, right, who said, I think Kretinsky needs to buy us out. Honestly, when I say be careful what you wish for, don't wish for that. The geezer's a prick. This is a land deal to him only. He does not care about the football club. He wanted to get his greedy mitts on that big piece of land. That's what he wanted. That's why he's not interested in saving the football club. Right? He's got two people on the board acting for him. He don't take a personal interest in it. The guy's a multi-billionaire. It's 150 million investment. You don't want to lose it, but it's small pocket change to him. So yeah, give up. And Kretinsky is just a guy who's just, well, we can get post office as a sponsor. What is he going to pay for that out of all the fucking workers he's rumped while he's there? I mean, the geezer's just he comes into a company, he slashes the cost base. If you've ever worked for a company that's done that, it ain't nice. He was even putting trackers on postmen to check that they were walking at the right pace. That's the kind of guy we've got on our board. He denied it, by the way.
Well, you know what? In fairness, that would probably work quite well at West Ham. You know, if he could stick trackers on the players, I'd be all down for that, just to see how much work they're putting in, which would be next to nothing.
Why is Guido's tracker not working? It must be broken.
Didn't he own a Czech club as well?
He does own a Czech club.
Them fans hate him, didn't they?
Well, because if you were in Prague, the fan zone was opposite the stadium that he owns. Part owns, but I think he's a majority shareholder. He is, but it's his boyhood club. This place is falling to pieces. Was it Slavia or Sparta? I can't remember. But whatever one he owns, it was opposite the fan zone. It's a right shithole, right? That is what he does to businesses, and that is what Sullivan does to businesses. Like I said before, Sullivan runs this club like a corner shop. Just look at our training ground. If people can still train on it, he won't upgrade it. That's really it. It's like thingy in open all hours. Don't get a new till, right? Just not until this one stops working. That is the way he runs his football club, sadly. We're not big time. We're very small time. We're a massive club with very, very small time owners who must have another reason for doing what they're doing, because it ain't football. That's for sure. And I just want to say a couple of things. I mean, Hammers United have started a campaign to get rid of Sullivan and Brady, but I'd extend it and say them and anyone that's related to them. And the Gold family are not helping this. They're just waving for everything they want to do. They're not, I'm not going to say they're not guilty, because they fucking are. They are. Right? They're guilty by their compliance. That's what they are. Talking of compliance. Right. This is just something that occurs to me. I'm not going to go into it too deep, but it's just something that occurs to me. If you've heard recently, we've remortgaged every bit of property we've got. Training grounds, right? They're now under charge from, I think, Barclays and what is the equivalent of a payday lender, who almost caused the demise of Everton before the current ownership took over. They were in debt to the tune of about 235 million or something, but the interest rates were about 22% a year. I mean, it's ridiculous, this, right? What they've done is they've secured these loans based on our this season and next season's Premier League income. If we go down, I don't know what happens, right? Because, and I'd love to hear from the club about what's happening here. Because if we went down and we're carrying all this debt, because apparently we had 180 millions worth of player payments to make, at the end of the summer. So assuming the new overdraft of 145 million, that's estimated, by the way. Nobody knows how much it is because they've blacked out all the numbers. So it's all going to be speculation. Perhaps the club could tell us, yeah? If that overdraft is fully used up, like it was this time, and that's why we had to sell Kudus to pay off that bloody overdraft before we could do anything. We had to make ourselves liquid again, effectively. Otherwise, what happens if you don't do that is the owners have to contribute to get the club out of the crap. They have to do that, right? Otherwise, something bad happens to the club. Now, coupled with this, you heard Lady Brady. If you heard a eloquent little speech on TalkSport the other day, you'll notice that she's got the UK governance body on her mind, this new football governance body that's coming in. This is quite serious. It's a serious undertaking for all Premier League, Championship, the top 5 tiers of English football. I've said this before, but every owner needs to hold a license. In order to do that, they need to pass the enhanced owners and directors tests, including, I think, background checks, DBS checks and stuff like that. I did read the bill. They need to demonstrate financial sustainability plans. They need to do so much to ensure that they're running the club properly, because the whole objective of this governing body is to protect football clubs and stop them disappearing from existence through greedy, unsuitable, charlatan owners, right? The first focus, I understand, is going to be on the Premier League next season. And then it's just going to be fully implemented across all leagues by 28-29. But in the period up until then, they're going to be doing data collection. They will have full access, detailed access to every club's books. But obviously it will start with focus on the Premier League. Now, I'm putting 2 and 2 together here and thinking, all right, we've remortgaged everything we've got. We've got a load of debt. We seem to be asset stripping ourselves in terms of players because we're openly looking for a bidder for Paqueta at the moment. We're selling everyone we get an offer for. They reckon we turned down an offer from Souček. For Souček, I can only suggest it wasn't a big enough offer, right? But what seems to be happening at the moment is we get an offer, we sell. And meanwhile, we're not buying. The only people we're buying, in fact, are people who are suitable for the Championship, maybe, like Callum Wilson. Prowse is going nowhere. Great for Championship, right? Josh Brownhill, well, just before Callum Wilson signed with us, it was rumoured in the press that he'd received $100,000 a week offer from Saudi. The next week, he signed for us. Well, the good news is today, Josh Brownhill got $100,000 a week offer from Saudi. How about that for a coincidence? So I'd like to be the first to welcome Josh Brownhill to the club. Right? Congratulations. So,
it's 120 grand a week from what I heard. 120 grand a week for Josh Brownhill. So no, I'll call you right, mate. I reckon he will land at West Ham. There's no doubt in my mind about it. I think it's odds on that this geezer's going to sign for West Ham. And like everything you just said there is quite interesting actually, because the checks that I'm really interested about would be the DBS checks.
Yeah.
The DBS checks. And the finance checks as well.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be damning. And I'll tell you what, I mean, if what they're trying to do now is just basically see us down in the lower league, just to try and escape their way out of all of this fucking madness. Well, it's not madness, it's actually very good, by the way, because it brings football back to the fans. But yeah, I you know what? It's an interesting way of looking at it, Gal. It is. It's a scary way of looking at it, but it's a very interesting way of looking at it.
Adam, that ain't the point, mate. We're supposed to be shopping in a better supermarket. That's the point. Right. So we're building a Championship side. And I agree with what you just said, Chris, by the way. Right. Now, I just think that this could be, I mean, the way we're not spending it, we're coming up with every excuse to not spend, even trying to, say this deal doesn't go through. Well, then that just adds fucking fuel to the fire in my mind, right? I start to think, well, this is deliberate. He's wasted a whole winter transfer window. Literally, he hired Potter too late to spend any money. Then he got a loan in. And then this window, we couldn't spend until we sold Kudus. Then we couldn't spend until we got sold Alvarez. It took ages to get a keeper. Now, it took ages to apparently sign and get this geezer in for a medical. And then it's going to fail at the last minute because someone inside the club is apparently unsettling deals. I mean, come on, you couldn't make this up. It certainly feels deliberate to me. And you know what I said the other day about, you look at our fixture list. If we keep this team, all right, you could bring another manager in, they might do a little bit better. But at the same time, this is a group of players that's failed pretty much under last three managers, right? Plus a couple of others. It's not going to make a huge difference. We will get relegated if this happens. And so that starts to feel to me quite deliberate.
Yeah, no, I get it. And yeah, you know, even if you look at it objectively, not even from a West Ham fan's perspective, it does feel that way. It does. Yeah. I had this conversation with a friend of mine that he's not a West Ham fan. And even he said he thinks that could be what West Ham are trying to do right now, or more to the point, what the owners are trying to do. It's scary. It's a scary thought, mate, because relegation is no good thing for West Ham. I know a lot of people say it, and at times in the past I've said it, maybe, you know, clear out all the dead wood and start again. But it would be catastrophic for West Ham if we were to get relegated. And, you know, I guess ultimately a lot will be, you know...
But maybe not for the owners, Chris. Maybe not.
Oh, not for the owners. Absolutely not. But... you know, I suppose that it will be telling what happens over the course of the next how many days we've got, 4 days or whatever left of the transfer window. Because if we do somehow manage to get players in, you know, a number of players, I think we need like fucking 6 players, Gal. I know that ain't going to happen. We'll be lucky if we get 3 or 4 at this rate. Maybe even be lucky if we get 3.
We'll get 1 or 2.
We'll get
and be what we want.
Yeah, but here's my concern around, you know, these players that we're being linked with, and more likely the players that may well join. So let's say this Magassa linked to Eintracht Frankfurt, let's say that's a load of BS. Okay, let's say hypothetically he joins West Ham. Well, are we basically kind of putting all hope into a young lad, a 21-year-old geezer from Monaco, that's been basically a bit part player for them, played about 25 games last season, 20 games before that? Are we really relying on a geezer that's been playing in Liga 1 to join the Premier League and stick him in the engine room for West Ham and basically hold it together? Because that really is a pivotal position. Are we really relying on a 21-year-old? Because, okay, is he one for the future? Maybe. Have we got time to, you know, wait for him to become good? No, we don't. We need plug and play. So actually, conversely, I'm actually of a different thinking right now. We need people that can come in and do a job now, not people that can come in and do a job next season. We need them right now because it's going to be too late otherwise. We can't wait 3, 4, 5, 6 months for a geezer to suddenly come good. I'm hoping that's not the case with this Magassa geezer, that he can come in and do a job for us. But it's a gamble, you know, it's a gamble because you tell me one person that knows about this guy, all I've seen is his YouTube reel. I don't know how good he is. I mean, on YouTube, he looks pretty decent, but then so did Marco Boogers. So I don't know what to make of it.
Everything, Chris. You should see it. Fucking brilliant. Amazing. Around the world, everything.
You know what I'm saying, though, Gal? It's that like, as much as we joke about it, it is a worry for me because there's a lot of players that we're being linked with that I don't really know a great deal about. And they've got no experience of playing in the Premier League. And with all due respect, they're playing in lesser leagues, lesser competitive leagues, slower leagues as well, by all accounts, right?
The French league is really slow compared to ours. And it's renowned for, well, firstly, dodgy deals. You remember like the old case of Newcastle, of things like that, of players being around. It was all around Denver Bar, actually. But we were one of 3 clubs, us, Chelsea and Newcastle, investigated by the HMRC. I think Newcastle got done in the end. But anyway, look, this is where I think some people go, why would you want to get relegated? You lose all that money. Yeah, but the thing is, you might lose 200 million. It's not 200 million, by the way, but even if it was, especially if you finish low down, it's about 120, 130, 140, something like that. Let's face it, it's going to be no other prize money this year. Well, the thing is, you spend that on players and more. So where's your profit margin? What I'm saying is, if this could be done for another reason, you know, this could be get out of the big bright light of the Premier League, because I don't think they've ever opened their books and showed them to anybody that's not their auditor before. You know, I'm just saying, everything we see in the annual accounts is the auditor's interpretation of it. There's no details. You don't see the transactions. You don't see who gets paid for what, do you? And going on from that, Mark, we all have the best portal cabins in the Championship. Well, we might not even have them, Mark. That's the point.
Going back to Magassa, what you were saying, Chris, about this relying on a 21-year-old. Aren't we told to believe that Potts is too young to be integrated? Is he not 21 and looking really good?
I mean, all you can say is Magassa played more first-team games in a top-tier league, but I still think that if you look at Liga 1, is Liga 1 the equivalent? I mean, aside from the big teams, like the likes of Monaco, where he's coming from, or PSG,
yeah,
is it a much better league than the Championship? It's questionable.
No.
In fairness, it's questionable, right? So I know what you're saying there, Martin, because we've got a youngster in there that's effectively the same age. That could be the answer. But no, we're going to potentially risk it all on a guy that we've never really actually seen play before. That is, to some extent, untested in Liga 1. I mean, I know that if you look at him as a player, he definitely does have the right types of credentials that we're looking for, right? He can play in the holding midfield role. He's got a good range of passing. He's quite a robust player. He can also play at centre back. So there's a lot going for him, and it does tick a lot of the boxes of what we're looking for. But I go back to my point. No one really knows if this geezer can do it. We're going to be forking out somewhere between 100%. The regions of 15 to 20 million if you include add-ons. That is a big chunk of our transfer budget. Yeah. Now, look, if he's a good player, of course I'll be delighted. But it worries me that we may need to give him time before he settles into the squad. And time is something that we do not have right now. So actually, maybe, just maybe, getting in Josh Brownhill isn't the worst thing in the world because he knows the English game.
Nothing against Josh Brownhill. Like I said, if he pulls on West Ham shirt, that's fine. But the thing is, this has been a 2.5 month transfer window so far. We've signed 2 fucking players. And each of those deals took about 6 weeks to complete. So they've wound this window down and then, we're going to miss out on a few at the last minute. You just had 2.5 months to get the business done, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Either that or you're not telling us the full truth about the finances and we really are in shit street. Yeah?
Yeah. So, I mean, at the beginning, we had all the PSR thing, didn't we? We've got to sell to buy and all that. And then every player we sell, it's like, we've got to sell this next player so we can buy him or loan this next player out so it frees up wages.
To think they get such respect on your TalkSport and places like that as being, the rightful word of the football club, the people who speak the truth, the owners, right? But there is a responsibility that comes with being an owner, and that is to run the fucking business properly.
He does not care about West Ham, Gal. We all know that. He does not give a shit about the club, let alone its fans. He really doesn't. And if he did, he'd be sticking his fucking hand in his little pockets, But he doesn't. And I don't know. I'm like I say, I'm super intrigued to see what happens over the next 4 days because Magassa, maybe one incoming. Who else? Apparently we're looking at another striker now, which is incredible when you consider the fact that we had 3 on the bench last night and not one of them came on until the 85th minute. And again, another fucking stupid, idea from fucking. What's he thinking? I mean, genuinely, I know we're going back. What's he thinking?
Think about this. No, exactly. I agree. He's doing nothing right, and he deserves to be fired. He deserves to be fired last night. He'll deserve to be fired after Sunday. But think about this, people out there, as a bit of a conspiracy theory for you, because it's my very own invention, right? I don't know the size of the loans. They've been estimated by various people. I don't know the size of the overdraft. They've been estimated by people as well. The 180 million that was due apparently was a fact on players that we've bought. Was the 180 million. And then, so it doesn't take a genius to kind of work out that we're probably using some of that overdraft and some of the loan facility that we got, if not all of it, because they were already mortgaged, those properties. They've been remortgaged. Yeah. So that probably frees up just a little bit extra based on increased land values and stuff like that. So say we're carrying a load of debt, right? And then we get relegated and we lose the Sky money. And we, the minute we get relegated, Jared's gone. Every kid that's any value or any player that's any value is gone. We go down, we're carrying a squad value of probably in the region of 30 to 50 million in total, right? Because what's Ward-Prowse worth now? What, 2 million? What's Callum Wilson worth? Nothing.
Nothing.
Right? Josh Brownhill is a free transfer. Nothing. Right? So you look at all this. There's, say we went down, say Barclays wanted to call in their debt because there's no Premier League money anymore. Suddenly we're a club, and I'd love the club to tell me this ain't true. Suddenly we're a club without any training ground, with a rent book to a rented stadium, with no assets in the books, and with debts of probably 300 million. What happens to a company like that?
What are you trying to do to me, Gal? Honestly,
I'm just saying. What happens to a company like that? It goes into administration, doesn't it? That's what happens to it.
Of course, it does. It don't look very good, does it? I mean, it's beyond worrying. I mean, it's beyond worrying. But I don't know.
But I didn't mean to depress the audience. I didn't mean to depress the audience. I'm just brain dumping all these things that don't bloody make sense to me, right?
You're right.
It don't make sense.
No, you're
In
absolutely
that scenario, what happens to the London Stadium in that agreement? Does that
Well, I don't know. If we went into administration, I don't know what's in those covenants. You know, would us going into administration mean that we get booted out of the stadium as well? That'd be great, wouldn't it? Be playing over at the Marshes.
Might prefer that, Gal. Might prefer that, mate.
Yeah. So look, this is just a group of information. The loans and all that, it's all real because it's in the company's house records. You can go and look at it. It's just the amounts we don't know. But they're remortgages, so they're above the value of what the land was, whatever that was previously, to free up some extra money. Just say that the land's gone up 20% or something like that. So say they've freed up another 20 to 40 million or something. The overdraft facility is based on this year and next year's Premier League central funding. And that's not all of the funding, but it's a central funding. It's the majority of it. And that adds up to between 130 and 160. So someone's gone for 145 in the middle to guess that's where the overdraft's going to be. It's probably where it is, right?
Yeah, it must be thereabouts.
Yeah. Anyway, that's miserable, isn't it? Should we talk about something more cheerful and about how we're going to
talk about Wolves last night?
Yeah, how we're going to entrust the great owner to go and pick another manager for us and who that manager is going to be, right? So because there's nothing more certain than Nightfaller's Day that Potter's getting fired on Sunday.
I think you'll be able to tell by if we do sign anyone or anyone comes in that little loan period. I think you'll be able to tell by that.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's Brownhill and that, it's probably going to be Sean Dyche. I think it will be.
The thing is, right? Let me just tell you, the makeup of a man who is capable of running this football club. This is a big football club without the success, and people only figure that out when they join. And that's why the likes of Moyes get frightened into submission because they revert to their system and that's all they use because that's all they trust themselves to do. And they don't want to do something wrong. And it's the same with Potter. It was the same with Lopetegui, right? So many managers have come and stuck at West Ham. It takes someone with the arrogance of Allardyce to not give a fuck and actually just do something, right? I don't want Allardyce, right? I don't. Maybe an option if we go down, you never know. But it needs someone of such a big character to take control of that dressing room so that the players respect them and also to be a big enough character to know what they're walking into here. And I don't think Sean Dyche is that character because he failed at Everton, for Christ's sake, which is another big sleeping giant. Yeah.
Well, he's accustomed to managing smaller clubs, isn't he? He's accustomed to managing smaller clubs. So you're absolutely correct. I think we need someone that can ideally, I guess ultimately manage a club like West Ham. But actually, I think it should be more of an interim kind of caretaker role for the time being, because the reality is there isn't a great deal of talent out there.
Yeah.
Harry, no, when you look at the options, Gal, they are really, really. I mean, they're so bleak. They really, really are. In my mind, and this is not like something I'd love to do, but based or taking into account where we are as a club right now, I wouldn't be against the idea of bringing in, I don't know, like Kevin Keane or Mark Robson or someone like that from around.
They're not big enough characters, Chris.
I know they're not. Garrett, I know they're not, but they understand the club, and that's my point. They understand the club, right?
They do.
So
we would have patience with them because of that. You're right.
Okay, so what big enough characters out there that are available that are on fucking free transfers are going to be good appointments for West Ham? That's the question, because there aren't really anyone out there that would want to join as well.
Ron Atkinson, is he still going strong? Get him in.
Well, but Garino's saying it. Garino's saying Ange, right? Postecoglou. Now, this geezer can't defend to save his life, right? But neither can we.
God.
But let's get it right though. Let's get it right, those guys, because at the end of the day, Postecoglou, his best form of defense is to attack.
Yeah,
I'm all for, I would take that over this crap that we're watching right now.
I would as well. Yeah,
edge of your seat football, mate. Yeah, we might concede a fair few goals, but we'd score a few. We can't even get a shot on target, let alone score at this moment in time. So I wouldn't be against that. I wouldn't be against that at all.
What made me laugh the other day, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's an advert, I think it's for like Uber Eats or someone like that, and it's it's Pardew, Dyche and Allardyce. They're all on like sunbeds on holiday out of work, and I just thought to myself, you just know Sullivan sitting there thinking, it's one of these three.
Pardew could do it. He's got a big enough ego. He's got a bigger ego than anyone, right? He could do it. He would shag everyone who works for West Ham, but that's what he does. That's Alan Pardew. He shags who he wants, right?
Yeah,
it does.
I mean, so let me just put some of these comments up here, right? So Dad's saying Ange will take us down. Well, you don't think Potter will at this moment in time either. I'm just saying, I'm not saying he wouldn't, but we are scraping the barrel here. Let's get it right in terms of managers. I mean, the fact that people are calling out Alan Pardew. I mean, genuinely, look, Pardew. I know you called it just now, Alan Pardew. You know, Mark Noble. I mean, again, you know, this is like nepotism at its finest, right? Because we all love Mark Noble as a player. Doesn't mean he's going to be a good manager. And you've got a question, you know, what Shaky's saying is, what actually does he do? Because I don't know. Like, honestly, I see him walking around in his suit, and I see him turning up, you know, like at these away days, and you know, when we have these trips in the US, and he's turned up there as an ambassador of the football club. What I'd love to actually know what he's doing. You know, I'm sure he's doing a good job, and I love Noble. And I don't want to disrespect him at all, but I don't know what he does.
Why ain't he talking up? Why ain't he speaking up? He never does.
That's what I'm saying. He loves West Ham. We all know he loves West Ham. We need someone like him to get his teeth into this. You know what I mean?
He keeps in line with the leadership there, doesn't he? Let's face it. This one is funny. This one's... Oh, sorry. Put it up again. Go on.
No. I was just saying, like what Tony was saying here about Forest manager Nuno. All right. So
yeah, I'll get him, but there's no way that we're paying, that we're hiring him. He'd want players in January. That's not fucking happening, right? And if Harry Redknapp joined, you know, Sullivan wouldn't know what hit him in January. He would have spent 400 million before he knew it.
Yeah, what about this one here? Frank Lampard, no effing way. Seriously, not a chance.
He's doing well at Coventry, isn't
he? He is doing well.
7-1 last week.
He's had two big wins on the bounce, hasn't he? But look, let's be honest, that ship sailed with Lampard. You know,
it has. I don't think it'd be suitable. I mean, I must admit, I chatted with him. I told you before, I chatted with him over Chelsea, and he's a genuinely nice bloke, right? I don't hate the guy, but I still sing a song. You know, I was tempted to sing it in the pub when I was chatting to him. You know,
it wouldn't take long before, if he was manager, it wouldn't take long before that song comes out in the
That's right.
A few bad results, and that'd be it.
Well, what we used to sing to him was, you know, when the ball came over and Frank fell over, and then after he left, it was 10 men couldn't lift. That's what I was tempted to say to him in the pub. My brain does funny things to me sometimes. I'll stand there, I'll say, yeah, bye, Frank. My brain's going, say 10 men couldn't lift. Say 10 men couldn't lift. God, I'd say. And I didn't. Yeah.
Super Slav's out of work, mate. I'll take him in a heartbeat.
I'll take Slav.
That's never going to happen.
Last time they wanted popularity, they got Slav in. Yeah.
You know, no one's mentioned yet. Gareth Southgate.
Gareth Southgate, the young Moyes. Yeah. Well, look, when I said about characters and size of characters, I don't think he's got an enormous character, but I think he must have fucking grown one when he ran England, because that is the worst job, the most exposed job of anyone in the country, clearly.
I think if he does come back to club management, he'll pick something a bit easier than this.
Leighton Orient.
Poison chalice, this is.
Leighton Orient,
I think Harry Redknapp would be great as a caretaker manager. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like for a year, for the rest of the season.
But surely he's getting a bit on now. When he's getting a bit old, Harry, and I don't think he's...
The great thing about Harry, Chris, is he's fantastic at spotting a player. He will look at all those players and know where they can play.
Oh yeah, and he's a great man manager as well.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I hear you, but I mean, Christ Almighty, you know, there's a reason why he's not been in work for the last how many years? He's getting on a bit now,
isn't he? Much money. He's down at Sandbanks with several properties. He's been in the. Did he win the jungle as well? Did he win the jungle, or did he come?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, king of the jungle, and a load of money eating kangaroo testicles. Now, what better preparation to working for Sullivan than eating kangaroo testicles? Right.
He's into his horses now as well, and he big
horse testicles. Not Dyche, it's Pulis. Pulis, yeah. Honestly, I'd take Pulis. Pulis has got an ego, you know. Pulis has got an ego.
Oh, please tell me you're having a laugh. Tony Pulis.
For the season. I'm talking about for the season.
Right? Gal,
no. I don't care as long as we stay up. I just want to stay
Tony Pulis is not the one, mate. That's
Gary O'Neill. Oh, I'd get myself a baseball cap to present this show if Pulis joined, and white trainers. That's what I'd do. We'll probably beat Gary O'Neill when Potter's fired. Yeah, it probably will be. And again, not a big enough character, I'm afraid. No. He was shrinking in front of the cameras when he managed Wolves. What chance he got with us?
What about Edin Terzic? I'm just looking at managers available.
Yeah. Kevin Nolan and Stuart Pearce with Paolo Di Canio as the first team coach and Michael Carrick as the first team manager, right? So Di Canio can be Carrick's assistant, yin and yang, opposites, one nutter, one stable, and just the hardest. Let's build the hardest bench. Let's get Julian Dix, Kevin Nolan, and Stuart Pearce to sit on the bench at the hardest dugout going. I'd love that.
But you know, the funny thing about this, talk about Nolan, talk about Stuart Pearce, talk about Julian Dix, not one of those three geezers can manage a football club. They've proven it before. They can't. You know, as hard and tough as they were.
Slightly unhinged. Yeah, it's slightly unhinged.
Yeah.
It came from trying to run off Yeah, go on.
Get Mike Bassett in. Yeah, get him in.
He could do a job.
Or Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso, there's another shout. He'll come in, he'll do a job, wouldn't he?
So you 100% confident, both of you, that he's going to sack Potter soon?
I'm 100% Potter. I'm 100% Potter. No, I'm not. Don't. Someone's clip that. If he puts the same system out and we get rumped by Forest, he has to be fired.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Yeah, I'd agree he has to be, but do you think he will be?
No. I think they'll hold on.
I'm a little bit worried.
Hold on, which will just feed my conspiracy theory even more, right?
So I looked at the next 10 games. I started looking at the next games, right? And I looked at the next 10 and I thought it's not worth reading the rest because we'll have like 1 or 2 points by the end of them 10 games. It'll be December.
I know. How about we Brendan Rodgers?
No, he'd never pay for him, would he?
No? He could bring his portrait. He'd have to get his portrait moved down to his new mansion. His new life-size portrait of himself. He does. He has it. He has one. He's got a big enough ego to do it. I'll tell you that now. He has. Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about West Ham. Will still will.
He's managing Southampton, isn't he?
Yeah, we'd have to buy him out. It cost us probably a couple of grand. That ain't happening. Ain't happening as a new seat.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean, that geezer was playing Football Manager. That's how he learned his trade, wasn't he? Before he went to France.
He's a West Ham fan as well, isn't he? Jumping jobs.
Randy's trying to act as though we're a normal club who's going to go looking for normal managers. Sebastian Hoeneß of Stuttgart. He kept Stuttgart up. Yeah, look, great record. He ain't coming to us, Randy. Not unless he's out of work. Is he out of work yet?
I like Randy's way of thinking here because in that case, let's look at Zinedine Zidane or Xavi or someone like that. You know, they're both
Zinedine Zidane. He could do what he did in that World Cup final and like go down and then run across the room and headbutt, take Sullivan out. Brilliant.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to go down. He'd have to be on the floor, wouldn't he, to do that?
Yeah, true. He'd have to be on his hands and knees.
He'd have to be a diving header to get to get Sullivan.
So,
Eric Ten Hag, fine. You know, scraping a barrel.
He's got a job, hasn't he?
Has he got a job? All right. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at it. Okay, we'll forget. Well, not that I want him anyway.
He does have a massive ego, though, Ten Hag. He genuinely does. Carrick would have had a crack at keeping us up. Would be really good in the Championship if we went down. Yeah, true. That is true, Kent. That is true. And maybe Carrick could get chucked a bone towards the end. But I'm inclined to think that if we when we get relegated, he's going to go for an old tried and tested. I think be straight on the phone, straight on the blower to Sam.
Tony Mowbray, Tony Mowbray or someone like that. He'll be the next West Ham manager. Could you imagine?
I'll tell you what about Cooper? I'll tell you what. When Cooper managed Forest, he had a face you wanted to slap. Only the mother could love, right? And I just wonder whether he'd wind me up as my manager just as much. Because he's arrogant as well, that little git. He really is. And that's what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for arrogance. Right.
But he's shit, Gal.
I know
I don't want Steve Cooper at West Ham. I mean, Jesus Christ. I can't. Do you know what's so upsetting about all of this? Do you know what's so upsetting about this, guys, right? Is the fact that we're even mentioning some of these names as viable targets, like potentially realistic targets for us.
No, they're not.
No, but they're realistic, though, aren't they? They're not viable, but realistic targets because there is no one else.
Thiago Motta on a free. There you go. Man U are 2-0 down. They'll be sacking their manager soon, the one we were supposed to have. Can we bring him back?
Yeah, that meeting went really well the first time.
Yeah, it did. They are all shit, David.
So what are we landing on? Lads? What managers are we landing on here? Let's kind of do a short list of 3 managers that we think realistically.
Yeah, let's give the people in the audience a right to vote, right? We're going to come up with 3. Option 1, 2, and 3. Now, I'm going to go option 1 for the season only, Harry Redknapp. What's option 2, Chris?
I'm going to stick with what I said before, purely due to the lack of available candidates out there, is to take maybe Kevin Keane and Mark Robson and just promote them and just to co-manage the team. I genuinely can't. Yeah. What about you, Martin? What are you going for? Steve Cooper?
This is who we want from the available people.
Not who we want. Mate, if it's who we want, there's a lot of other people I'd want at West Ham. It's more a case of what is left in that little scrap heap. Yeah, what is left that realistically we would get.
I'm telling you, it's going to be Sean Dyche.
All right, yeah. Right. Well, that's realistic, to be fair.
It's the most likely, let's face it, because apparently they love him. Karen Brady and Sullivan love him. They love Dyche, love his gravelly voice.
That's the recipe for fucking disaster, isn't it? I mean, that's the recipe for disaster. Do you know what? She went out the other day and said something along the lines of, we're not a club that typically fire managers, right? We've had, 8 managers in their tenure. We've had 8 managers, and that number seems to be increasing more and more and more over the course of the last 6-7 years. So, again, talking out of her arse, that woman. Talking out of her arse.
You know what I hear when she speaks? I hear, me, 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 me. That's all I hear. Babel 1 is dreaming. De Silva from Sullivan. Well, from Fulham to Sullivan. Sullivan had an arrangement to get him after the cup win. If we lost that cup final, that was like a sliding doors moment, right? If we'd lost that cup final, we get Silva from Fulham. Moyes goes on his happy way. It's a different future for West Ham. Might be a worse future, but it's a future. Different future.
What a sad state of affairs we find ourselves in from that point of winning that trophy. I mean, that's like a band-aid over what was wrong at the club. Even Moyes, I know everyone says we shouldn't have got rid of him. Sick of hearing that.
This one, is he? Fourth choice, Sullivan in the dugout.
Someone said to me last night. Someone said to me last night, you know that season we won that trophy, right? That was a season that we started really well and then we tailed off and it went terribly. And what's his name came back from the AFCON, Kudus, a shadow of his former self. Yeah. Paqueta got injured and all the wheels come off. Someone said to me last night, and it makes sense actually, because we know the last season of Moyes was rubbish. Someone said that either they should have sacked him after Prague, which gets my vote, or they should have given him a longer contract. But what they did was the worst of both worlds. They let him have the last year of his contract and not give anyone any confidence or any ability to tell whether he's going to stay or not. It's just the worst way to run a football club, right?
Well, did not Moyes turn around to the West Ham players? Was it after the Fulham game to say, listen, lads, we're going to go for the Conference League, and if we win it, I'm done. And then he ended up staying on for the next season.
Yes. Yeah, he did. Yeah, and he got a massive ego when he won that trophy. His ego went into hyperspace. He had a 30. Jurgen Klopp take him every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Moyes has a 33% win ratio in the last 2 seasons. He finished last season with 25. Yeah, and also the worst goals conceded record ever by us in the top flight. Right. Bilic. Right. So look, you got 3 options. You haven't got Bilic, I'm afraid. You've got option number 1, Harry Redknapp. Option number 2, Keenan Potts. Option number 3, Sean Dyche. Can't do the northern accent. I have to work on that.
Well, Keenan Potts or Keenan Robson, one of the two, because obviously
the academy boys, the academy leaders. Yeah. So give us your votes, people, in the chat. 1, 2, or 3. Harry, academy leadership, or Sean Dyche. Klopp works for Red Bull, does he? What, the motor racing team? Is he changing wheels? Is that what he's doing with his teeth, with his big teeth?
He's doing some sort of consultancy thing.
Gary Megson, brilliant.
3. So Sean Dyche gets 1 vote. Your lot gets 1. So that's 1-1-1. Sorry, it's 1-1. That's 2-1 to Martin. No. Yes.
There's a lot of 2-1 coming in now.
2-1 to Chris. 1. I've got to keep. Yeah, we've got 3-1, 3-2-1, 3-3-1. I wish there was a poll thing on this. 3. I think 3-4-1. Have you spot any other 3s here? I think Sean Dyche is not popular. I think 2's getting it. Well, Harry's popular, but I think 2 is the most popular, to be honest.
Academy.
Yeah, it's promoting from within is the most popular with the fans. So the people who are watching this show anyway. So who are also fans? Option number 4, John Henry wants. We don't have an option number 4, John. Don't be silly.
Imagine if they take over and they don't start Potsy.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
Oh, yeah.
The double pivot of Souček and Ward-Prowse.
Wilson up top.
Oh my God. Puts his son on the bench. Brilliant. Yeah, you can well imagine that, can't you?
I would, given the choice at the moment and the misery around the place, imagine how much fun we could have for half a season, even if we did get relegated, if we got Ange. At least win a game like 9-8 or something. It'd be brilliant.
Oh, just a bit of
entertaining, wouldn't it?
I'd definitely have him in the Championship, wouldn't you? Where defending don't matter, because Burnley and Leeds just scored fucking apples last year. One of them didn't lose a game, did they?
The thing is, though, with Ange, you need to actually have firepower as well. And firepower is something we don't have. We've only got Bowen.
Terzic the former Slaven Bilic number 2. How about Terzic with Slaven Bilic as his number 2?
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
The interesting thing with Terzic, do you know he comes back to the club quite often as a guest?
Yeah. Oh, does
So
he?
he is friendly with people there still.
Does he really?
He was here last season, wasn't he? He turned up at the game. I know that. Yeah, I do know that.
Ashley Cole. Yeah, Ashley Cole's doing a job somewhere, isn't he? What's he doing?
Shagging other people's.
I think he's with. Is he at Como or something? Is it somewhere
What,
weird?
Perry Como?
No, the Italian. I think he's helping Fabregas somewhere. Is it? I'm sure it's Como. I might be completely wrong.
No. I think you're right, mate. I think he is. He's coaching abroad, isn't he? I'm sure he is.
Lake Como. It's a nice place to have a football pitch.
Yeah, wonderful.
Avram Grant, bring him back. Uncle Avram.
God.
Well, I'll tell you something, yeah. If Potter carries on the way he's going, Avram will have a better record than him soon because it's not far off.
Who's Russell Martin? Who's Russell Martin? Help me out.
Russell Martin is the geezer that was managing at Ipswich, wasn't he?
Right.
Yeah, any
Academy.
one gone to Rangers.
No, was he at Southampton? I can't remember now. I'm lost. Where did he go?
Yeah, Rooney and Beckham, double X. What do you reckon?
He's going to pop up somewhere, isn't he, Rooney? He'll have one more go somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. Wash your mouth out. Says England. Ashley Cole is with Lee Carsley at the under-20s.
Oh, right. Sorry.
There you go. You're only a couple of countries out.
Yeah, I do apologise. I was miles off it.
Geography's not his strong point.
Well, it's not that far on a plane, is it? So,
Harry on transfer.
I've got Lake Como on the head because I'm always thinking about going there.
I would just pay money to see Harry Redknapp trying to, because what Harry's good at is playing the media even better than Sullivan. He would be first to the draw every time. Sullivan wouldn't know what fucking hit him, right? Other than there'd be a lot of deals done. A lot of deals.
All on deadline day as well.
Yeah. We get 5 or 6 players from Liverpool. Yeah, like we did before. Rigobert Song. Who was the other one? It was a guy with a bald head who's reputed to be about 75. TT Kamara.
TT Kamara, what a player he was, yeah. Kaba Diawara, all those great players we had back in the day. Do you remember him? Kaba Diawara from Arsenal, fantastic players.
Craig Bellamy, now I would take that all day long.
Yeah,
he loves us, and I love him. Yeah.
Cool, they'd had trouble keeping him quiet.
Have him as number 2 to Harry. Fucking hell, yes. Oh, yes.
What's he doing? The Wales job? No. I don't want to get another one wrong.
He is, but let's no, you have to buy him out of Wales.
He's at Como, Martin. He is. He's over at Como, mate. Yeah.
Sorry, I nearly choked on me fucking body. Avery Redknapp's getting a lot of votes. I'm going to give myself the win on this, I think.
Leave it out. What are you on about?
What about Roy Hodgson? No one's brought him up.
Roy Hodgson.
He's in the same age bracket as Harry.
I know, but he's Roy Hodgson number 2 to Gareth Southgate.
Carsley?
Yeah.
Was that what did you say, Gal?
Defending the matter to Burnley, Gary, they had the record amount of clean sheets. Yeah, they did actually. Yeah. Amazing record. I showed it at the end of last year, or beginning of this one. What's that, Chris?
Well, were you talking about Lee Carsley then for a second?
He works with Ashley Cole running the under-21 England.
Okay, yeah, no,
Englanders.
I don't want him either.
Yeah.
No, I don't want him. No,
Nicholas Fulkrug is the manager, the angriest manager in the league. I tell them they were shit today.
You know what, right? Let's put the manager discussion to bed for a second here, because I think it's unanimous, right? We're saying that if something was going to happen, it's going to be it's going to be Craig Bellamy on a free transfer from Como, or it might. No, I think the consensus there was the preference would be to recruit from within, from within and take some people that understand the club, right? The DNA of the club, maybe, right? But moving on from that. Transfers we haven't spoken a great deal about here. Now, bearing in mind, guys, we've only got 4 days left until the end of the window. What do you realistically expect to happen? Now, one thing I want to pick out here for starters, right, that just wound me up something chronic today.
Yeah,
was this link back with Jonathan Victor, mate. John Victor.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that all about? The geezer got stranded at an airport and we're going back in for him again.
He got stranded at Rio Airport, for those that you don't know. We were supposed to be signing him. He was on his way over to sign and have a medical. And they said, don't worry about it, mate. And he had to get a taxi back home again. If he's going to leave his home and go to the airport now, I'd insist on signing a contract first, wouldn't you?
Well, you know what will happen? There'll be the West Ham car going to Heathrow and they'll be holding up the sign and he won't come out.
But why would we? Why would we actually do? I mean, look, we've gone out there and we've spent what 18 odd to 21 million pound, whatever it is, on Hermanson, and we're going to go and spend another 8 million quid, what, potentially alone with a view to buying him.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I don't get it. Like, are they not? I mean,
I think it was linked to Areola possibly wanting to go in this window. So.
Well, we ain't got long to go, mate. I mean, what? Okay, 5 days, someone said to me. 5 days left, right? So we ain't got a long time to go, like, you know, before he makes his move. And at the end of the day, we don't have to accept him leaving anyway, right? We can say, no, you're contracted to West Ham. You ain't fucking going anywhere. So I'm a little bit perplexed why we're going in for another goalkeeper right now, because surely we need to work with what we've got.
We're going to play 2 keepers, Chris.
But do you not think so? The fact that if we do bring in this John Victor fella, like, what does that say about Potter? Because first of all, like, Potter wanted Hermanson, Sullivan wanted John Victor.
Potter?
No, but you know what I mean? I mean, it's completely undermining him. He's saying, oh, you know what, your geezer's shit, we just spent 18 odd million for. We'll bring in John Victor and he can be number one.
I've got it. They constantly tell us they're really good with their feet. They're going to play him at centre back.
Yeah. He's actually a defender. Yeah. I mean, apparently we've hijacked the El Canous bid to Palace, so he'll be joining Palace any day now.
We haven't hijacked that gal. There's not a chance in hell. He's done. He's gone. And you know, like, again, you look at the Conor Gallagher situation. Apparently, he's available on a loan, but we ain't going to get him, are we? We're not going to get Conor Gallagher. Why would he be interested in joining West Ham right now?
Prepare yourself, right? I've got from Hammers News an unprecedented scenes at West Ham as Sky Sports shares an 11-player transfer update. So stand by your beds, people. I'm going to take you through this. According to David Sullivan confidant, Sean Whetstone. I'm feeling good about this article already. Right. Okay.
Should we just end the show now then?
Who we got here? Hang on. Let's see who we're linked with today. We've got a picture of Potter with his head in his hands. Right. Who we've signed, who we've let go, blah, blah, blah. These fucking articles, right?
Yeah, it drives you mad, doesn't it?
Article. Right. John Victor there. Magassa. They're the 2 we know about already. Junior Mwanga.
Sorry. Wanga. Does he come in a double deal with on your dicker? Wanga. I mean, what the fuck is that? Who's that? Who's he?
22-year-old from Strasbourg.
He plays for Como.
Yeah. he was loaned out to Le Havre because he's not good enough for Strasbourg, who are owned by Chelsea's Hierarchy Blue Co. 7 million bid by the Hammer's been made, apparently. Hayden Hackney still ongoing.
No, that's dead, mate. That's dead in the water, that one.
No, he's on his way. Apparently, that made me think that we're getting Carrick, right? Because and then Matthias Fernandez, apparently we went from 32 to 32.25 million now. That's what we've done. We've offered another 250,000 to try and tempt him. Leverkusen's Alex Garcia, 17 million deal between West Ham. Yes. What else? Who else? Where's the rest? Emerson Palmieri to Marseille. Yeah. Lucas Paqueta.
Don't say it, Gal. Do not say it. I don't want to hear it.
The Spurs Forum said earlier that he's open to a move. That's exactly what they said shortly before Kudus joined us.
Just like
if he left to join Spurs, there will be an absolute mutiny, right? No one is going to
imagine that home game in a couple of weeks. Can you imagine? That'd be a warm night.
He ain't leaving West Ham. I don't see that one happening, honestly. I don't think he would disrespect the fans enough to go to Spurs. No way.
Last but not least, Chris, we are back in for Romano Schmidt, the Alpine Messi.
He's coming. He's coming, Chris.
Coming home, Chris. He's coming home.
I'm all for it, mate. Now, like, you sold it to me, the Alpine Messi. We need Messi at West Ham. You know,
top drawer. He's got great balance. Yeah. Werder Bremen talisman.
But you know the worrying thing about all of those players that you just mentioned, Gal, right? So how many of those players are actually central midfielders or people that are real box-to-box fucking, strong, robust, athletic midfielders? No, because all right, Fernandez, right, one, okay, so he was left out of the squad, weren't he, last night, apparently? Yeah. Now, make of that what you will. I don't know whether that means that he's on his way. I don't know. So that's one central midfielder. The other one you've mentioned, Hayden Hackney, apparently Middlesbrough do not want to sell him. They said, you're not for sale.
They got no choice.
No, yeah, but they do have a choice. They own the player, so they can turn around and say,
if he wants to leave, you know what I mean? He can do an Isaac. He can go, I need to leave. I'm not.
Yeah, but he ain't going to do that. He's not. I don't think he's going to do that. He won't do that. So let's just kind of poo-poo that deal there, because I don't think that one's going to happen. By the sounds of it, it looks like that one's dead in the water. So really, how many central midfield players, of the kind of mould of what we need to bring in at West Ham right now, are we being linked with? That's what I want to know, because at the moment it sounds like there's one or two.
Well, if you think about it, the Alpine Messi is similar to Martin Odegaard and Bruno Fernandes, like their love child.
Well, then they're 10s. We don't need it. Well, okay, it'd be good to have another 10 in there, but we need someone in a number 6, right? We need a 6 and an 8. We don't need it.
Can never have too many 10s.
Well, you can, because we've got fuck all. We've got nothing in our midfield, Gal. Why are we signing more 10s?
We'll replace Paqueta with the Alpine Messi when he goes Spurs. What do you reckon?
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing? You're doing it again, Gal. You're purposely winding me up. No, don't get me wrong. Look, I'm all for this Alpine Messi geezer joining West Ham, right? Bring him in. Let's see him tear it up in the Premier League, right?
Again,
I'm all for that. But what concerns me is the fact that we're not. There doesn't seem to be many good players that I've actually heard of, and I do know a lot about European football as well because I follow it, right? But I can't think of many players in there in that central midfield area that we're being linked with. It just seems to me it's like, oh yeah, a geezer that's being played for Le Havre or whatever, or for Rennes, or who's basically played 15 games and he's 20 years old. It's all these unknown players. We need players that can turn it on for West Ham now, not next fucking month or 3 months or 4. We need them to play now. We haven't got the luxury of time. So
you are very right.
Stop fucking around with all these players we've never heard of before. Sign someone that can play for West Ham now. I don't get it. I just don't understand it.
Make machine hum though. Neil Warnock, right? Neil Warnock. And what's this striker? Jew or deja vu? Did you? Did you? I don't know. Did you? I didn't.
I'd still really like Bissouma. I think he could slip.
I would like Bissouma as well. Yeah,
I'd take him. I would take him. And why not? Because he's not really getting much action at Spurs, is he? So, why won't we take him?
He's been sort of late to training and everything, and they've sort of sidelined him, which not a
lot of iron has gone in there with a little ITK bit about Pedro Guilherme Abro dos Santos, who plays for Flamengo. We love a Brazilian.
And we love a Guilherme, yeah? So let's have
two Guilherme. It's his stepbrother.
He's got enough names.
Mrs. Guilherme was busy.
He's bringing the whole family, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's all right. As long as they all play midfield, Martin, let's take them all.
The Flyfox Pro suggests we go and look at Salthouse's available players. Probably a good idea, actually.
The thing is, the worrying thing is we should be doing it. Whoever is coming in, I expected something happening fast. Not just this one Magassa sort of maybe having a medical.
Yeah.
There should be 2 or 3 players coming in early part of this week. We're now Wednesday.
Yeah,
before you know it's going to be the weekend again. So they obviously got no intention of doing it.
No, I agree. Kent says, and I agree, this is a clear dig at you two, not me. You wouldn't do that. But stop using numbers for midfielders, for Christ's sake. We need a box-to-box midfielder and a defensive midfielder. Yes, we do.
Yeah, so a 6 and an 8, yeah?
Owing to Newcastle. Yeah, let's give you a bit a go up in the left-hand corner. Let's obscure myself for a change.
Been promoted.
You changed, mate. What's that?
Owing to Newcastle. Don't rule it out. Ralph enjoying the sun. Don't rule it out.
No, it's not happening.
Schmid, Garcia, it is in the summer. Schmid, Garcia, Cisse, and Magassa are all.
Yeah, but they're not all of the mould of what we're.
Right?
No, but they're not all of the mould of what I'm talking about, though, Gal.
No,
box to box midfield. You're talking about 10s there. Sorry, I'm using numbers again. Central attacking midfielders. Some of them are, right? And that's not essentially a priority.
Magassa's a defensive one.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the Alpine Messi, Schmidt.
Oh, yeah, but he's an attacker. He's going to open the lock. He's going to unlock the defence, right? That's what he's going to do. See Paqueta moving abroad. I think he's got too much respect to play. All right, then. We'll see on that one. We already got Guilherme. He can't get a game. Yeah, well, I get a second one. He won't get a game either. Exactly. We're going to get 60 million for Paqueta. Not from Spurs, we're not. We'll take 20 million. No.
20 million. And what's the geezer we're talking about from Spurs that we're interested in, Martin?
Bissouma.
Yeah, 20 million in Bissouma. Would you take that deal out of interest? Would you, Gal? 20 million in Bissouma for Paqueta?
No way. But Kent, I don't want Paqueta going Spurs. I think Kent speaks for the entire West Ham fan base and people who are watching this show tonight, in that we will fucking simultaneously all lose our shit if he goes to Tottenham.
Oh, yeah, that's too much fuel to the fire. That is, with these protests being planned, and
it's not acceptable. I didn't mind losing Kudus. I didn't like the geezer. I thought he was just sulking last year, but he's a good player. We know he is. Is what it is, but it's no good if he ain't playing for us, is it? And bloody Louise slipped through our hands. Why didn't we just get that done? That deal?
Apparently we could have easily done that at the beginning.
Yeah. Liverpool played a 16-year. Yeah, I know. This is sickening. I know. And they've got like a youngster who played against us in the FA Youth Cup final. He's fucking playing for England now, right? Because and this is the big side, so it's no excuse. It's no excuse. We've got the best of the best of the best in terms of kids. But clearly, that route through to the first team, we thought it was open when Skulls got some games last year. Been firmly slammed shut again now. They can only play pre-season friendlies and bit parts. Forest bought Jesus for 10 million. Yes. Jesus. Let's just a few more before we finish.
Gabriel Jesus, who are you talking about there? Has he gone to?
Yeah, it will be Jesus.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, he'll be ready for us.
He'll get a trick on Sunday. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Randy's
Zuma has attitude problems. He's actually a bit deranged, which is what I like. I wanted to get him before the Spurs game so that he could kick Kudus into row H and get sent off. Instant hero, Randy. Instant hero. Gonna
just
get
for that one game.
He's been late for 2 sessions for Frank already. So.
Yeah, well, he don't like the discipline, you know. He don't like the discipline. He's a bit, you know.
We'll get on well at West Ham then, because we got no discipline either. So he'll
Frank's
be
one
alright.
of those that gets up early and puts the fucking towels down around the pool, and he definitely. Well, he ain't playing that shit. He don't do that, right? Chris Gillespie. What about getting Big Kevin Nolan back and Nobes? Yeah. But again, Nobes is kind of. I don't know. I'd like him to speak up a bit more. Yeah, I love Nose, but I'd like him to speak up a bit more.
He's not allowed to though, and he's in his job.
No, he can't, Gary.
Yeah. What else can you do, Michael Powditch? Levity is important, right? Otherwise, we'll all get depressed, high blood pressure, and all sorts of shit, right? We've got this Aguero, Cano, Jorge. What about that Kante geezer we got in our youth team? He looks pretty good, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, he does, and people are saying some good things about him. But again, you know, we do this a lot at West Ham. We bring in these youngsters from abroad. We stick them in and around the youth team. Oh yeah, he looks good, and nothing really ever comes of it. How many times over the years have we had players like that, though, Gary? Like truthfully, how many times? Like, I'm looking at some of these central midfielders that we're being linked with at the moment. It just kind of brings back memories, and I don't know if you can recall this, guys, but people like Edouard Cissé, who we signed back in our relegation years, or people like who was the other guy? There was so many French players that we were signing that was dog shit. You know, they barely played in the French league. We brought them over here; they were shit. Yeah. I don't know. I just worry about relying on so many fucking French players.
Issa Diop.
Hey.
Issa Diop. Issa Diop.
Oh, Issa Diop. Oh, well, do you know what? I'd have him back at West Ham at the moment. To be honest,
Paul, you're bloody late, and you're voting academy. You're going with Chris. You let me down, Paul. What about Harry? Get Harry back. We had some good times, Paul, over there watching Harry teams, for Christ's sake.
Gal, this was 25 years ago, man. Come on. We need to get with the times.
Whatever. I'm a traditionalist, Chris. Traditionalist. We need 3 defenders as well as a cam and a striker. That's 5 players in 3 days. Yeah, good luck with that. We need Claire. You're nothing if not optimistic. It does. It takes 6 weeks to sign one player. Right? Don't go to bed. DG.
Okay. So, how many players do you honestly believe, if you're going to put money on this, I know you won't, but if you were, that we're going to sign by the end of the window? Come on, I want to know. What do you reckon, Martin? How many players are we signing?
Go on, Martin.
By the end of the window or the end of this loan thing?
You play as well, audience. How many we're going to sign? This includes Magassa, whatever his name is. Yeah, includes the one we're apparently trying to sign now. I do know he's in for the medical because I got told earlier that the driver passed a message that he was picking him up at the airport. So now he's in. Right. So including him, how many do you think we're going to buy? I'm going to go for 2 in total.
So yeah, I'm going to go with an optimistic 3.
3.
What about you?
Spiram's gone for 5. Claire's gone for only the 1, which I'm tempted.
According to including the loans after the window.
Say again.
We got a little period where we can do loans, haven't we?
Yeah, that's where we'll clean up with loans. Of course we will.
No. We can't. Let's not be including that in, right? Let's just talk about perms, right? Let's just talk about geezers on perm deals that we're going to sign before the end of the window.
Sorry, hang on. Where's my camera?
Gary's turned into a cartoon. So how many people are we signing like on perms by the end of this window?
2.
2. Right, you're saying 2, Martin.
Well, there's still players going, right? So it's got to be like 4. I can't see that.
It's got to be 4, but how many is it realistically going to be? I mean, we need more than 4, mate. We need 6. We need a minimum of 6 in. I think Claire's bang on. We need about 6 in there. We need about 6.
I know that's what we need, but I can't see how you can just buy 2 players and then sell Irvin and Rodriguez.
Yeah,
it's got to be 4 at least.
You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried that we end up playing Rodriguez again against Forest, and the geezer gets injured. Yeah, the geezer gets injured. He's out for, let's say, I don't know, not too long. Let's say he's out for 2 months, right? We're still quite long, but let's say 2 months.
Yeah.
Then we're stuck with the geezer, right? We are stuck with him for the rest of the season, or at least until January. That's what worries me. Same applies to Andy Irving. We bring him on in the 80th minute to shore up the defence. He gets injured as well. We're stuck with Irving as well. And suddenly, loads of our transfer business is on hold because we're stuck with these two geezers. That's what worries me.
Those got told we had to keep Guido until we'd signed someone else, which is a bit of a reversal. I think he must have got that wrong. Thingy 407 players, John McCarthy.
But stop playing him then. If it's a danger of messing up our transfer window, and we already know that the geezer's like literally runs in treacle, why are we continuing to play him? Just don't play him. Let him go. Just try and keep him nice and fit. Don't go too hard on him in training. Do you know what I mean? Just go easy on the geezer and farm him out to some clubs. That's what we need to be doing, just to enable us to bring people in. Because that's a danger. It is a danger. And it's so West Ham that he gets injured and ends up staying. It's so West Ham.
By the way, my camera's not going back. You're gonna have to put up with me.
No, this is a much better version of you, Gav. I'm happy with this.
Kent says, fucking 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm setting off on Sunday. This be you, Chris, probably earlier. I must be bloody mad, but would we have it any other way? No, you wouldn't, would you, Chris? Would we hell? It's the West Ham way. Exactly, it is, because the West Ham way dictates that. Never know.
We go down there. I'm going to be optimistic again. I'm going to be optimistic, if not unrealistic. Sure. Yeah. Expecting 3 points, but obviously coming away with a 5-0 loss. So
I think I'll just flip out when you see the formation come through on your phone, though.
Oh God, that's the bit that always worries you, isn't it? Like as soon as you see that, like an hour and 15 minutes before kickoff, and it comes through, you're like, oh God, all hope goes out the window, doesn't it? When you see those lineups.
Why couldn't they leave it at 2 o'clock? Give us another 15 minutes of hope. Why are they taking that 15 minutes of hope away?
Gary, I don't even want to know the lineup nowadays. I'd rather just turn up to the game and they run out on the pitch. It's like, now I know he's playing. Yeah. Honestly, I'd rather that than seeing it on this. Yeah. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I mean, why did we not play a striker? Why did we not play a striker yesterday? Please, someone tell me. Against Wolves B team, we've got we've got Wilson on the bench.
Striker on there, Wilson.
Yeah, but play him though, Gab, because he's clearly not. He hasn't joined West Ham to be starting games in the Premier League week in, week out. I wouldn't have imagined. So surely playing him in that game would have been the best thing to do to help build up his match fitness, integrate him into the team, play him. But no, we're not going to stick anyone. We're not going to have a single striker, at least not until the 85th minute.
I would take Højlund actually. I think
Yeah, I would as well now.
But they'd want about 80 million for him, wouldn't Man United? They're a bit detached from reality. Guido. Jules 1, Guido was 10, JWP was 2. Well, JWP's not known for his physical side, is he? And in the year we got relegated, in those 3, we had a small deal done for a little-known striker called Drogba. Yeah, that's right. I remember.
Oh, man, yeah. I know. It's so true. How many times have we had that?
Kent is depressing the audience more than me tonight.
We could have got Yulka, couldn't we, from Coventry? That was close. They didn't want to pay the extra money.
We could have had Neymar. We could have had Shevchenko. We could have had Marcelo Salas. We could have had all of the best strikers in the world. We could have had Didier Drogba.
Salas who broke his toe getting off the plane, was it?
Honestly, wasn't it? It's laughable. All of these amazing players that we could have signed. But the truth is,
Shevchenko was Harry. He said he didn't pull up any trees. He played for our reserves.
Yeah, I know. But, the truth is that even if we did sign any of those players, they'd probably still end up shit because we're West Ham and that's what we do as strikers. I don't know what it is. We're just doomed to be any strikers we bring in.
Yeah. You leave Herman Munster alone, Claire. You leave him alone. Stop picking on him. Apparently, I heard about the driver. His parents, the driver gave his parents a lift back from the game the other night. They were fucking distraught. So
who? No hand Hermanson.
Yeah, no hands.
Can't imagine what's going through his head at the moment. What a disaster.
I can imagine what's going through his hands, Martin. That's for sure.
It don't take much.
He's behind
much
the worst
effort, does it?
One of the worst defenses we've ever had, and we've had some fucking bad ones, haven't we? Right? He's coming. He's playing behind that. I mean, my God.
I feel for him, but I
know. We ain't doing it. Yeah.
Do you think he starts against Forest on Sunday?
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Just because Areola didn't,
he goes hand in hand with he goes hand in hand with a 3, right? If he plays a 3, he'll play him.
Yeah.
Take one in an heartbeat. Yeah. Right. I'm going to stop this show in a minute because we've gone well over. It's supposed to be an hour. We're nearly an hour and a half. So
it's gone quick.
It has. It was a good show tonight. I've enjoyed it.
My emotions have gone up and down here today. Tonight I've just been angry and I've been
a few times. I've demoralised you a few times, haven't I?
Yeah, well, you tried to, mate.
But Gary, there. That's what Gary would look like if he had some work done.
That's what I'll look like next time I do a show.
with all this Sky work, it's going to go to his head.
I know.
I'm
Yeah, I know.
going to Turkey. I'll be back next week with a new set of Nashes. You watch. Big fucking Jurgen Klopp teeth. I'm going to open my mouth. There you go.
Oh, look, Claire's going for Foderingham.
What?
Part of the good Johnson deal.
Come on, really? Foderingham? You'd want to play him? Like, oh, well,
yeah.
You know what? I actually kind of get it in a way because, I mean, Christ almighty, none of our keepers are particularly playing well.
Can't do any worse. You know, he only, to be fair, Foderingham only cost us 1 goal in that preseason game, whereas it's traditional for our keepers to cost us 2 goals in every game, isn't it?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So, thank you, chaps.
I don't know what this comment's about. It's not West Ham Fan TV, Chris. I'm not sure what that is all about.
I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, look, thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Claire, for keeping all that in the in chat. Thanks for your comments and everything else. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you. Thank you, Claire, for moderating.
Yeah, and thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Cheers, guys. It's been a pleasure, as always. And I'll very much look forward to us discussing our post-match review of Nottingham Forest very soon.
Indeed.
Oh,
now,
yes.
if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please could you? The Bobby Moore stand here on YouTube. Give the video a like and hit the bell notification icon. Not necessarily in that order, but another fun-packed week of West Ham coming up. Lots of signings before Monday. I'm going to go away for a few days and ignore football. Until next time, see you soon. Come on, your hands.